He's Tony Dungy from Football Night in America. He joins us now. Tony, I was just talking about how bad a shape I was in on Sunday night, and Paulie wanted to know why you didn't put your hands on me and heal me on Sunday night.
I couldn't do that, but I prayed for you, and then we got you through it. I was concerned, but Dan, you did a great job. No one else probably in the audience could even know, but you were not in good shape, and we just all we could do is pray at that point.
I almost threw up.
I saw it a couple times, and I just said, boy, what are we going to do? It's almost like losing your starting quarterback. We would have had to go to plan B and scramble, but you made it through.
Well, you and Rodney would have had to do you'd have to do the highlights.
That wouldn't have been pretty. And getting us the break and reading the teleprompter and all that, people would have seen how difficult a job it really is.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers making it look easy, segue, with what we saw last night.
But I'd be a little concerned if I were the Packers about their defense. And I know they had a big lead, so you tend to relax. But, at this time of year, you really need your defense to be on cue and on fire. And they've got 3 games to get that work back out. But I do think the road is going to go through Green Bay. I don't see them losing again in the regular season. So I kind of think it's going to set up for the championship game to be in Green Bay.
If I said pick between Rodgers, J.J. Watt, and I'll throw DeMarco Murray in there, who's your MVP?
Boy, you always have to look at the quarterbacks because they have the ball so much and the way the game is set up. Watt is playing great. He has an impact on a lot of games, but his team has won 7 games, I think. Murray, you can make an argument for because he has really transformed the Cowboys, and I think he is the reason they're winning. But, you take Rodgers away from the Packers, and I'm not sure how many games they would win.
Johnny Manziel looks like he's going to finally get the start against Cincinnati. Is this the right call at the right time?
It's probably a desperation move at this point, and it maybe is the right call. I was the one who said last week, stay with Hoyer, and he really had some opportunities to make some big plays, had some receivers open that could have really put the game out of reach, and he didn't get it done. I still think you look at the body of work, and they had all training camp, and they're watching practice every day. So there's something about Brian Hoyer, and they did feel he gave them the best chance to win. Now I think they're just looking for a spark and hoping to create some energy for these last 3 games.
Well, it's amazing, this turn of events, Tony, because a couple of weeks ago, we had people telling us that the Browns were looking at Brian Hoyer, and is he going to be a franchise quarterback getting, $15 million a year? Now his future is in doubt. He's going to go to a backup quarterback now.
Well, we do that all the time. You heard about it with Kirk Cousins and Colt McCoy. You have to watch the whole body of work, and you can't just watch one game. That's why guys like Matt Flynn get big contracts off 1 or 2 games. It's a long season, and being a winning quarterback in the NFL it's a process. So we jump off bandwagons too quick. We jump on bandwagons too quick, and I think that's what happened with Brian Hoyer.
He's Tony Dungy from Football Night in America. Does it feel like Jim Harbaugh is done in San Francisco?
When we were out in Seattle opening weekend, I just couldn't understand all the drama that was going on. And you don't have a coach that's taking you to 3 championship games and say, well, we're going to wait until after the year to see what happens. You lock those guys up long term. So when that didn't happen, I thought something was amiss. And that's one of the reasons I didn't think they would make the playoffs this year. I just saw too much dysfunction there. So I'm not sure what it is, what the problem is, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And if you didn't sign him long-term after 3 championship games, I kind of think the writing's on the wall.
Is a coach worth trading for?
Sure. Good coaches make a tremendous difference. If you could trade for Bill Belichick right now, it might be the best trade you could make if you're trying to create a winning team. So you can't give up too much. I know the Buccaneers traded for John Gruden, and you end up giving up a ton, and it hurts your ability to win going forward. But definitely good coaches make a difference, and if you can get one, you get one by any process you have to.
So who's back with the Redskins next year? RG3 or Jay Gruden?
I don't know. That's a good question. RG3 has a lot of skills. You saw some things that rookie year that made him look dynamic. Is he ever going to be that same player? I don't know that he will be, because you don't have the same mobility and the same things that scared you defensively. But I still think he can be a good quarterback, and good quarterbacks are hard to find. But it takes chemistry. It takes everybody in the organization being on the same page. And if you have owner, GM, coach, quarterback, and we can't decide that we're all going in the same direction, then something's got to happen. And I'm not sure what that's going to be, but I don't think everybody comes back.
Yeah, I understand Griffin's limitations, certainly with all the surgeries here, but that's why I look at Colin Kaepernick, and I can't figure that out, because he went from this alpha male who was dominating and made the defenses, kind of stand on their heels a little bit, to he wouldn't scare me at all if I'm a defense. What is that, Harbaugh doing that to him, or is that Kaepernick doing it to himself?
I think it's a little bit of the system. Now, again, they took away what made Colin Kaepernick different and dynamic. You had the strong running game, and then you had to defend him in the running game. And because of that, you had to commit so many people to the line of scrimmage that the passing game was fairly easy. You got play-action passes, you got big shots down the field. And now when you say, well, I'm not going to have Colin run that much, I'm going to keep him, out of the designed runs, then now you can defend everything else. Okay, I've got to defend Frank Gore, and I've got to defend the passing game just like a normal situation. And you lose that. Now you've got to read coverages. You've got to figure out what's going on. You don't get as many deep shots, and you're not dynamic. So, to me, I think they did a little bit of that by roping Kaepernick in and not having him in the design runs that they had his first couple of years.
Yeah, I don't get it. I can still have design runs. I don't have to have him freelancing, but him in the pocket, I'll take him in the pocket any day if I'm a defense. But him, when he's running, that's a game changer.
Russell Wilson has shown that you can run, you can make a ton of yards, you can be effective, put pressure on the defense, and not take enormous hits. You can slide, you can go out of bounds, you can make 15-yard runs that gut the defense and not get hurt. Now, he may get hit sometime, but he's running well and effectively, and he's not taking a lot of big hits. And I think that's the secret. That's what some of these quarterbacks have to learn.
Michigan Wolverines call you yet?
No. No, they haven't.
Are you disappointed?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And I said, if my dad was still alive, he was the biggest Michigan fan in the world, and that might have put some weight into it and that. But now, no, I'm very happy doing what I'm doing, just being your sidekick on Sunday Night Football.
What if they ask you to be athletic director?
No. Sunday Night Football.
Okay.
Watching games with DP.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
That's what I want to do.
Okay, all right. But if your dad was still alive,
it would be a tough call.
If your dad was still alive, you'd be coaching the Lions, wouldn't you?
Probably so. Yeah. My dad, we grew up in Michigan. My dad was a big Michigan fan, big Lions fan. That was always a dream of mine. I remember we played the Lions on Thanksgiving when I was with the Colts and coaching down on that sideline, and I had about 105 tickets that day from relatives, and it was a great feeling. So, to be able to coach your hometown team in front of my dad, that would have it would have been tough to turn down. Yep.
Well, keep praying for me, Tony. I need all your prayers, all right?
I'm doing that, DP.
Thank you, buddy. I'll see you next weekend.
All
right, Tony Dungy from Football Night in America. Look